The first two races, you are really going to have to get home to win here.
And who strikes you as the most likely winner?
The most likely winner, well, the most likely winner, I guess, is at Fisher's Crop. But I am quite interested in the stable companion,
which is O'Fallon's Boy, who defends his unbeaten record over hurdles. We've reached post time for the Albert Bartlett Novices hurdle. So let's go to the man who will be describing the action and join Mark Johnson.
So it won't be too long now before they're called forward. Still some way shy of the starting tape at the moment. The start officially at the beginning of the back straight, and they're creeping forward up the hill now. Fisher's Cross and O'Fallon's Boy and Lebec and I Shot the Sheriff are leading the group in. Last check of the watch, the tape is released and no one wants to break away from the start. So they are off and running for the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle Race Grade 1, but a very circumspect start for most of the riders here as O'Fallon's Boy takes the very early lead to Fisher's Cross and Lebec, I Shot the Sheriff and Virginia Ash, followed then towards the inside by African Gold as they go towards the first of the 12 flights they will take. Utopia de Board is right through on the inside as they cross over that first flight. Inish Island is heavily restrained last but one, as to is Bucking the Trend, who is last of the 13 as they go towards flight number 2. And it's O'Fallon's Boy who will lead them over this flight. A narrow lead, just trailed his hind legs through that flight of hurdles. Towards the rear of the field, Our Vinny didn't get terribly high, but didn't make a serious mistake as they go on towards flight number 3. O'Fallon's Boy will lead Lebec, the red and white checks, as they crossed over that flight of hurdles. At Fisher's Cross, the gold and green hoops, who's now just racing back in fourth, as through on the inside moves Virginia Ash in the cheek pieces. Right on the inside rail, Utopia de Board, the only mare in the field. She is at the moment being followed by Return Spring and African Gold. I Shot the Sheriff is pushed out a little wide as they take that dog leg turn, being followed by Aim to Prosper. Then on the inside is Superior Quality, racing together with Inish Island. So at the back of the field as they get over the next is Bucking the Trend. All safely over the fourth flight, and now a very long run before they'll leave the ground for the fifth occasion in the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle, which will be 2 out in a circuit's time, and a meandering early gallop. And it's been set by Jason Maguire and O'Fallon's Boy. In second place is Lebec and Dougie Costello, and then towards the inside in third is Virginia Ash and Joe Tizard. Utopia de Board and Barry Geraghty racing in fourth, alongside at Fisher's Cross and AP McCoy, and then Tom Scudamore, I Shot the Sheriff, racing in a very close sixth. Next in the field is Aim to Prosper, who's racing alongside African Gold. On their inside, Return Spring. Taken quite wide is Our Vinny. Still with a stranglehold at the back of the field is Ruby Walsh aboard Inish Island. He's racing in advance of Superior Quality on the inside and Bucking the Trend, so at the back of the field as they crossed over the fifth flight. And so they're beginning to make the turn back towards home. The one who made the mistake at that flight was I Shot the Sheriff towards the wide outside, but didn't lose any places as they now make the turn into the home straight and approach halfway in the Grade 1 Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle. And still it is O'Fallon's Boy, one of two runners in the race for trainer Rebecca Curtis, who leads the way to Lebec in second, and Virginia Ash is just in third. Utopia de Board on the inside in a share of fourth with At Fisher's Cross, and on the outside I Shot the Sheriff. Next in the field is Our Vinny, racing in advance of African Gold. He in turn is a length in advance of Aim to Prosper. Then towards the inside races Return Spring as they go over the flight, which was the last of the circuit's time, and down there was I Shot the Sheriff, and he has also brought down at that flight of hurdles Our Vinny. So Our Vinny was brought down at flight number 6. He was brought down by I Shot the Sheriff. Both horses are up okay, both riders, Tom Scudamore and also Paul Carberry, are up on their feet unscathed. So now they go into the back straight. The field reduced by 2 down to 11, who set out now on the final circuit of the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle, and it is still O'Phelan's Boy who leads the way. Lebec is in second, and the pace has just increased a smidgen now. Then towards the inside in third is Virginia Ash. Now angling wide is AP McCoy on at Fisher's Cross. He's going very wide indeed down the back straight this time around. Indeed, most of the riders are electing to go to the outer third of the hurdles now as they go down the back straight, and on now towards flight number 8. O'Phelan's Boy still leads, extends the advantage now to about 2 lengths over Lebec, who took it in second. At Fisher's Cross then on the outside in a share of third, with Virginia Ash next in the field. Then the quartered cap of African Gold, followed by the yellow sleeves of Aim to Prosper as they cross over the next flight. That was the 9th. Utopia Board has lost a good position now. She has stayed towards the inside, but she's lost a couple of places. The one who is making good headway now, dark blue and white, although it's difficult to see, is Inish Island and Ruby Walsh, as now they take the dog leg turn on towards a third from home. O'Phelan's Boy, Lebec now being ridden along, so too Virginia Ash. Then at Fisher's Cross on the outside of African Gold. Those two moving as a team now to try and challenge the leading duo as they go over 3 out. And it was O'Phelan's Boy who just emerged with the lead over Lebec, who took it in second. Very slick over that in third was African Gold, much quicker than at Fisher's Cross, who jumped it in fourth. Utopia de Board has now made ground again on the inside to take fifth, followed by Virginia Ash, who is now in a share of 6 but being ridden. Return spring on her outside and Aim to Prosper around the outside. Inish Island for the first time is just nudged along for a few strides by Ruby Walsh, but certainly still going well enough, as too is bucking the trend and Aidan Coleman on the inside as they make the run down the hill. So they've just got less than half a mile to go. 2 more flights to take in the Albert Bartlett of 2013. O'Phelan's Boy still leads the parade. Lebec is back in second at Fisher's Cross. These are followed by African Gold. Then the push along Return Spring. Utopia de Board still right through on the inside as they come now into the wings of the second from home. O'Phelan's Boy was just the leader over Lebec, who took it in second. Superior Quality, the one who was pulled up at the top of the hill before 2 out. So it's O'Phelan's Boy who leads. African Gold is going well, but so too is at Fisher's Cross. Lebec now feels the pinch back in fourth. Ruby Walsh creeps into it now on Inish Island. Utopia de Board is still there on the inside, but hanging under pressure. They're racing down now towards the final quarter mile. 1 more flight to take. O'Phelan's Boy tackled by African Gold, and here comes AP McCoy on at Fisher's Cross. In his slipstream is Inish Island, still a furlong and a half to go. 1 more flight to take at Fisher's Cross and African Gold. These two will rise as one. At Fisher's Cross gets away from the flight quickest. He goes to a lead of 2 lengths and quickens away in second. African Gold. Inish Island is back in third. Here is a winner for AP McCoy at Fisher's Cross. Wins for Rebecca Curtis and AP McCoy. Tight second African Gold, and Inish Island back in fourth came O'Phelan's Boy. It was a 1 and 4th home for Rebecca Curtis.
AP has had to wait and wait and wait some more at this year's Cheltenham Festival, but he gets his winner on the board. He gets his winner for JP. It's a second festival winner for Rebecca Curtis. The 11-8 favourite at Fisher's Cross wins the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle. It's very tight for second. Inish Island and African Gold are both involved, but Steve McCoy is finally on the winner's board at the festival.
Yeah, and the horse has won really, really well. I mean, it's no surprise, but we're here on trials day. Well, certainly Jonathan and I were anyway, and we saw the 2 mile 5 furlong grade 2, was it then? And it's no big surprise that one horse looked like it was going to step up in trip, and one horse was going to stay at that, and they've won 2 of the novice hurdles of the festival, the new one being the other horse. And this horse has won well. He made one mistake there, we just see, that was his worst jump. He came back on the bridle pretty quickly, and I think he just outclassed them really. Got some stayers in the race, and he just had a bit more pace and class.
I think that might, Jonathan, be a very fair point in terms of pace and class, because running downhill towards 2 out, there were still several others travelling well.
There were notably, of course, African Gold, who is going to be a smashing chasing prospect.
And he's confirmed as being second.
Oh, he deserves it, I think, because he's the one. He was the only threat in the home straight. He's been comprehensively outpointed by a very classy and very worthy winner, but he's taken yet another step up, I think.
And fully justified Connection's decision to come for this race rather than go for perhaps the easier option of the Pertemps.
Yes, I think definitely. They would have been very well chuffed when the Queen's horse bolted up at Sandown last week, having them having beaten it at Doncaster, and they, of course, it deserves its place in this.
Inish Island is third. Honourable mention, however, for the other Rebecca Curtis runner, O'Fallon's Boy, who gave him a bold side for a long way.